Alright, what is up guys, Nate4 here and welcome back to another movie review, and today we're going to be talking about Shazam, Fury of the Gods, or just simply Shazam 2, whichever floats your boat. But yeah, I meant to do this a few days ago, but I haven't really been uploading. I haven't uploaded in over a week now, but that's going to change, I promise. I got some things lined up, so fingers crossed. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the movie. If you are new here on the channel, then let me explain how I do it. The first half is just going to be me talking about the film, and then once it gets to that half-point indicator, I'll get into some more spoiler territory, so be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, let's do it. Now look, okay, I've said it before. If it wasn't Creed 3 or Scream 6, I wasn't really that hyped for it. So for this one, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and then the new Dungeons and Dragons movie, I'll watch those two, but I'm not as excited for those two. I wasn't really anticipating these two next movies as I was with Scream 6 and Creed 3. So this movie is pretty much how I'd expect it to be. Pretty much like the first one. It's just a feel-good movie. Unfortunately, it is not performing all that well at the box office, gaining even less in its opening weekend than Morbius did, which is really, really bad. And I feel bad because I love Zachary Levi. I really enjoyed the first film, and this one, it's a good time, okay? If you're just wanting to watch something that's lighthearted, it's fun, you know, something that's easy to watch, this is the movie to do it with. It's no Endgame, it's no Way Home, it's not up there level caliber, but it's just a fun, feel-good movie. It's just something you can watch and just lay back and laugh. You know, it's a good family film, if you will. So if you're looking for something like that, then this is your go-to movie. That's really what it's trying to accomplish, and it does it well. And I know there's a lot of behind-the-scenes drama, so some of the things had to change and stuff like that. So given the circumstances with all the changes and all the problems, I still think the movie was fine, but it didn't live up to the full potential. Like, even watching the trailers and the little teasers and stuff like that, this movie just didn't really excite me. I don't know why. Like I said, I did enjoy the first one, and I enjoyed the character of Shazam, Captain Marvel, whichever one you want to call him. But I don't know, this movie just didn't really do anything for me. It just seemed like a generic action movie. But like I said, it accomplishes its job. If you're just looking for a fun little family adventure, something along those lines, then the movie does its job, okay? But in terms of just a superhero movie, a DC movie, it just doesn't really stick out. So that's something that holds it back. Like, it's not a bad movie, it's just not one that I would be like, wow, I gotta watch this again and again and again. It's just something that's like, oh, okay, that was cool. That was a nice little watch. But at the end of the day, I do kind of feel bad that this movie is underperforming. I'd like more people to give it a chance if you haven't seen it. It's not a bad watch. You'll have a good time with it. So, get the numbers up, you know, because if this movie flops, then I'm pretty positive that it's going to affect things in the future. Because a movie can get passed with making bad reviews, but if the movie isn't breaking even, if it's not making enough money, you know, then that's not a good thing. Because a movie can have like a budget of 150 million, but if the movie only makes like 45 million, that's a significant loss. So the reviews can be relatively mid or bad, but it has to break even. It has to make that money back. And the fact that it doesn't look like it is, it's a bit concerning. But I think this is a solid place to start the spoiler territory or whatever. Honestly, I'm not going to spoil you too much for this movie, honestly. I don't know why, but it's fine. But anyways, I'll start off with the things that I did enjoy about this movie. I like the new suits. The new suits, they're a little more slick, they're a little more slim. I like them. The first ones were okay. They're a little more bulky and stuff like that, but that's kind of how Batman's and Superman's were in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, stuff like that. So all of them had like pretty beefy suits, but I'm glad that they're a little more slimmed down. They look a little more realistic. Zachary Levi, Shazam, his hair isn't as like poofy or whatever as it was. Like, it's not as thick, it's a little more sleek, so I like it. Everything seemed a little more toned down, a little more realistic. It's a fine change. I'm not mad at it. Another good thing about this movie is the humor is there. It's pretty much the humor from the first movie. Sorry, so if you didn't like the humor there, you probably won't like it that much here. Keep in mind, it's they're children. Pretty much they're children in adult bodies. So I mean, come on. Like if you enjoyed Big with Tom Hanks, it's somewhere along those lines. It's that kind of humor. And it's PG-13. They can only go so far with the comedy. But those were some of the good things. I enjoyed the villains for this movie a lot. Pleasant surprise. I'd probably argue I enjoyed them better than the previous movie's villain. But that's just me. I don't know. And some of the things that I did not like is I wasn't a huge fan of how Billy and Shazam, they act completely different. And it shows, okay? Billy, when he's a kid, I forgot the actor's name, but he actually acts like a level-headed kid. He acts mature. He's level-headed. He's not like a simpleton. But then when he turns into Shazam, he's all goofier. He's not as mature. He seems to lose brain cells or something, it seems like, and I don't quite know why. So I would like to see those two, the child actor and Zachary Levi, probably get into the same room and talk and try to find an equal footing, because it is a little off-putting and it is a little obvious when you're watching it. You're like, why is he so much goofier as Shazam than when he is as a kid? Because when he's a kid, he's actually normal. You actually be like, okay, he's doing a really good job. And then when he's Shazam, he's just like, a lot of jokes don't really land all that well, and it's like he's just really goofy. So I don't know. That was kind of off-putting for me. And another thing I did not like isn't about the movie itself, but it's about like the behind-the-scenes stuff, and that's apparently with The Rock. Shazam was supposed to be in Black Adam's movie, but The Rock was like, no, we're gonna have Superman, we're gonna have Henry Cavill in it. So yeah, no Zachary Levi whatsoever. And apparently there's supposed to be a end credit scene in this movie, but I guess The Rock changed that as well. So I don't know, man. This, like I said, it's that potential that wasn't really reached. Like, I would love to see a director's cut of this movie, an extended edition maybe, something like that, so we can see what this movie was really supposed to be. But yeah, man, just The Rock having that much creative power, even in that freaking Super Pets movie, like, it's just a little weird. Like, I get he's a megastar or whatever, but it's just like he needs to like tone it down just a little bit, in my opinion. But I thought this movie was fun. It's good, but it's not great. It's just a good little fun watch at the end of the day. That potential just isn't really there what it needs to be, but I'll give this movie like a 7 out of 10. It's fun, you'll laugh, so yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, I'm in A4 and I am out. Peace.